Today I'm doing something new. SUPERCOACH released yesterday from the time that I'm recording this, and I thought I'd have a go at it, and I'd build a team and do it for my channel. Just kind of veer from the just the normal Titans content that I usually have. And yeah, so I mean, as you can see here, I have a completely blank SUPERCOACH. I joined yesterday, and yeah, I just decided that I'm gonna do this. As at the very top, you see that we have a $7 million salary cap. So that's important, as every player, if you don't know what SUPERCOACH is, every player is priced, and depending on how good the player is, they're more expensive, and you gotta fill a whole team. And if you see my computer is slow, by the way, it's because it's an absolutely shit computer. But yeah, and so yeah, it's an interesting system, and when the NRL season starts, your team gets points based on how the actual players play in the game, how well they play in the game in real life. But none of that's really important right now. We're just building a team, and let's start with fullback. When you think fullback, you think of the great fullbacks in the game currently. You have James Tedesco, Jared Hayne, Darius Boyd, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Jake Mamo. And last year I decided to go down the route of having a young gun in Latrell Mitchell at fullback, and he did alright, like nothing amazing. But this year I want assurance. I want a player that will be cheap. I want a player that will get me points. I want a player that's going to be consistently playing every game. And I've decided to go down with a veteran of the game. He's 30 years old. He is 30 years young. And he's a Titans legend. One of the greatest Titans players of all time. One of the greatest players of all time. And that player is William Zillman. So as you can see, $248,000. That is nothing for a player of his caliber. Okay, so now we move on to wing and centers. Now on the first wing, I want a solid player. All these players are very solid. I've thought carefully about this. I've thought about the positions I want to be expensive, and the positions I don't want to be expensive. I was thinking about it, and I think that this player is amazing in all aspects of the game. This winger knows how to finish. He is the immortal. He is the only immortal to play wing. And this player, he had a transfer from the Warriors to the Manly Seagulls this season. Massive pickup for Manly. A horrendous loss for the Warriors. This player, he speaks for himself. It's Jonathan Wright. So as you can see, only $231,000. That is nothing. We're picking up these cheapies, but these players that are just going to pack the points on. And they're going to be the difference when, I go head to head with opponents. Okay, so the next wing is another very solid player. This guy is the ultimate utility. When you think a wing, you want a wing that finishes. He's a great finisher. He's a great runner of the ball, and he is one of the most outstanding goal kickers in our era. He played for Titans. He debuted with Titans, I'm pretty sure. He is now at the West Tigers, and he's guiding them to a premiership. You can just see it in the flair of him every game that he plays. He's a wonderful player, and this player is Jordan Rankin. Jordan Rankin, only $265K. Nothing. I don't know why they're center, but I guess we can change that up at the end, I'm pretty sure. So let's go with our two wings now. Okay, so now for the last two positions, I thought, let's go big. He just recently went from the Newcastle Knights to the Manly Seagulls. This is just a real display of how well Manly's recruitment is going so far in 2017. And this player speaks for himself. It's Aquila Uwase. Only $172.5K. That is nothing. And still, we are yet to go below $6 million. And we have banked ourselves 4 great players. Now this last player is phenomenal. He is the second immortal of our time, alongside Jonathan Wright. He is still at the New Zealand Warriors, and he had a breakout season last year. Try scoring machine, tackle machine. non-error machine. This guy is a machine of a player, and this man is Blake Ashford. As you can see, 281.4k, a bit hefty, but it's definitely worth it. Check out that backline, man. Jesus Christ. Zillman, Uwate, Rankin, Wright, Ashford. That is the dream backline. These boys were meant to play with each other, man. Okay, now let's move on to 5/8. Now, the halves are a crucial part of the spine, crucial part of the team. And I thought very carefully about this. I'm thinking, what type of spine will work with the ways William Zillman plays rugby league? And you know, when I think of William Zillman, he's a veteran. So I want William Zillman to be combining with another veteran half. Now, this half has been to many clubs. He looks like he's now finishing his career with the Parramatta Eels. But this man, he's done it all. He's a veteran of our game. Still a solid player. I truly believe that if he continues the form that he is currently in, he will lead Parramatta to a premiership in the next 2 years. This player is Jeff Robson. Jeff Robson, $232,000. Yes, thank you. Okay, now we move on to halfback. This one was a no-brainer for me. I didn't really have to think about this. As soon as I thought about halfbacks, this guy came to mind straight away. This man right here has never made an error. He has never missed a goal kick. And he has never not played well in a game of rugby league. This man, he just made a transfer to the Cronulla Sharks. It is Daniel Mortimer. As we can see, Mortimer, 232k. Very much worth it. Okay, so next in the team, I'm going to be focusing on the hooker role, the last position of the spine. We have a spine currently of Zillman, Jeff Robson, Daniel Mortimer, and now hooker. Now, I spent a lot of thought into planning what type of hooker I want playing alongside those players, and I narrowed down the decision. It's another veteran of our game, really, and another very solid player of our game. It is Mitch Rain. He goes for 340k. This is the big gun. This is the big gun we've been waiting for. Mitch Rain. I don't know. We've only got 5 million left. I don't know. You know, when you think front rower, when you think of a really good front rower, you think of someone that runs hard, okay? And when you think of someone that runs hard, you think of, you know, a meter eater. You want someone that's going to make you meters. You want someone that's going to get you points. Okay? So, when I think meter eater, I think Nate Miles. 268k. It's a cheapie for a representative footballer like he is. Let's go with our next front rower. And this man is just an exquisite captain. He's just another great veteran of our game. And, you know, just a classy front rower. It's Tim Manor. 284k. He will work beautifully next to Nate Miles. So now we look at the last three positions of our team. So you got the second row forwards, and of course, the lock forward here. When I think of a great second rower, and just a great NRL player in general, I think of consistency. If you're consistently good every game, you're bound to be a SUPERCOACH merchant, okay? When you think of consistent players, you think of players like Jonathan Thurston, you know, just legends of the game, Cooper Cronk, Eddie Pettybourne, and, you know, the Raiders have recently signed one of the Titans' best players, one of the Rabbitohs' best players. This man reeks of consistency. When you think of consistency, you think of this man's name, and it is Dave Taylor. 282k. He'll work very nicely. The big Dave Taylor, the steam train. He turns up every game of the season, I assure you. Now with our next second rower, I thought consistency again, you know. Players that are consistently great every single game. And, you know, there's only one man, Tony Williams. Now at the Cronulla Sharks, after the Bulldogs let him go, I just don't think the Bulldogs saw the full potential of Tony Williams, and it's mainly due to the poor management at Bulldogs, nothing to do with Tony Williams whatsoever. Last but not least, probably the best player that will be going into this team. He had his time to shine last year. He's a tackling machine, a try-scoring machine, and a soon-to-be immortal. Now, he may look like a useless bogan Australian, but he plays with such class. The list of positives on this guy it just goes on. Just a phenomenal player all around. It's Ryan Simpkins. Here he is for 143k. It's a bargain. It's a real bargain. And that right there is our team. Let's start from the bottom. We have Zillman at fullback. Our wingers are Uwate and Ashford. Our centers Rankin and Jonathan Wright. Our halves combination Jeff Robson and Daniel Mortimer. Our hooker Mitch Rain. Our front rowers Tim Manor and Nate Miles. Our second rowers Dave Taylor, Ryan Simpkins, and our lock forward Tony Williams. Now I'm very happy with this team. As you can see, we still have $3.7 million left in the cap, but I'm very happy to just leave it there. I know we have all these bench spots left, but I mean, there's no point of me really filling them out. I'm not going to be using the bench at all. Just the 4 players that you have to pick to complete the 17. I planned this team for weeks. I put a lot of time and effort into considering what players to put into this, and I feel like I've made one of the best teams that you could possibly make on the SUPERCOACH game. Just an all-round solid team. It's not a lot of money either. You saw how much money I still have left here. It's over half of the total that you're given at the beginning. So I haven't used much money at all here, and I'm just really happy with the team that I've been able to produce. If you did enjoy this video and you do like this squad, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll probably be going back and forth of doing Titans content. I might, change it up a bit and do videos like these every so often. But yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time for my next video.